T. It's in the name.
Welcome into the Helping Healing Humor podcast with Ben and Travis. Today we will be recapping our St. Jude weekend 2023. We've got guests galore. They're all beautiful human beings, and we'll get to the conversation with them right after these important messages. This episode of the Helping Healing Humor with Ben and Travis podcast is presented by Faulkner University. Faulkner University is a private Christian liberal arts university based in Montgomery, Alabama, with a mission to provide an education anchored by not only intellect, but also character and service. The Faulkner experience aims to educate the whole person. Every individual matters every day. We all want to become better versions of ourselves. No one wants to remain trapped where they are because of missed opportunities and unrealized dreams. At Faulkner University, we believe your dreams don't have an expiration date. We understand that you're looking for more than a degree. You want to find your niche and thrive in your career. Whether you're a high school senior just beginning your trek or an adult student looking for a better path, Faulkner is here to help guide your journey. Go to faulkner.edu to apply or get more info. That's faulkner.edu. I'm Travis Creasy. That's all pro counselor with 3 Chord Counseling. Ben Hayes, how are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Just got through with the St. Jude Half Marathon along with all of these folks except for Justin down there, who's a crazy man, and decided to do the full, and Travis, who did, the other one. So there we go. We had a good one. 5K, baby.
Yeah. It's all right.
How you feel about it?
It's okay. It's all right. I ran mine dressed as a Spider-Man, so all right.
Which
I guess
is probably
as a
tougher than
Spider-Verse.
anything else.
No, it was fine. It was fine. But yeah, as we've mentioned, maybe not by name, other than Justin Bretherick's here with us. Justin, how are you, man? You're here with us, but maybe barely.
I actually feel better than last year.
You weren't limping when I saw you coming through, so until you celebrated.
Yeah.
And that's Josh Thorne who just talked. So, Josh, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
And it's the return of the Mac, or Will Mahan, anyways. Will, how are you, man? You were Mr. Encourager this weekend.
I feel perfectly normal and feel great because I just got to cheer. And I also got to see that the team raised the full $16,000. So kudos to everybody for that and to so many people that on the podcast have donated. So just a really cool thing.
Yeah, we consider all those who donate, all those who run alongside our team as a part of Team Ben and Travis for Cypress Hayes. And it's been a great weekend, great fellowship, hanging out with some of the coolest people on the planet. And man, it seems like there were a whole lot more people here this year. I don't know if they put out a total number or not, but I know running the 5K, I was kind of dodging, felt like I was in a football game, which I actually preferred than running a 5K. I don't know that Josh was too happy about having to dodge human beings.
Might have cost him that 5 seconds.
Yeah,
that he was really,
that's what I'm going to blame the 5 seconds.
The 5 seconds that he spent talking to me.
No, there's that.
Should have kept going.
He was frustrated.
So
But you beat everybody here,
Oh.
I guess, on time. I don't know. I'm not sure how Justin's weighed out with it, but as far as the half,
That one's way harder.
as far as the half, yeah, he went double the amount. But you got it. You would have got it in under 2 hours had it not been for the weaving that you had to do around.
First
it.
8 miles was like being in a traffic jam.
Nice.
But good job. That's awesome.
So I started us off this morning at 7 a.m., run the 5K. And then, like I said, Ben and Josh started at,
We started at 8. Of course, Destin did that with me. She is currently sleeping in the room right now.
Snoozing.
And then the Wyndhams all joined us, and they too are resting at the moment, I think. So we just, we had a great time. That was at 8, and then of course Justin started at 8 as well. What was your time?
4 hours and 48 minutes.
So moving
7 minutes
for 4
faster
hours
than last year.
4 hours and 48 minutes on the move, 26.2 miles, incredible. So good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
So on the road, like I said, I have much less time. I'm done in like 28 minutes, 29 minutes. There are always some interesting things to see, and we may wrap up the episode as we traditionally do with kind of the funnier things that we see. But every year, there's always things that help with motivation. And of course, running through the research hospital where the kids are out there and all the nurses and doctors are out there cheering you on is the highlight. I often say that I would love to have those hills kind of prior to going into the hospital, because then it's like, okay, I got to get to the hospital. But it is close enough to the end on the 5K that you're like, okay, I can run these. I have no idea mentally where you guys are at in that situation.
Well,
but
they
I know
put
it certainly
closer
helps.
to the end this year, which was nice, because I think in previous years it was like three. And you're like, holding back tears and staggering your breath because you're trying to catch it from having to deal with all the emotions that you go through, and then you have to make up, the rest of the miles. But it was on 10 this year, I think, and so that kind of gave the extra boost there at the end. I hope they'll keep it there.
Yeah, so I guess from mine, and I'll let you guys jump in and give you a second to think, but everybody, not everybody, but you can have another sign. I wasn't able to wear mine about kicking leukemia's ban in honor of, because I didn't want to poke holes in my Spider-Man suit. But I know Ben had his on for Cypress, and I remember running up behind this older lady that as I was getting ready to finish, and it said in memory of Brody, and so it's like, or Brady, it was Brady, and I remember going around her and saying all the love to Brady, and she said, "Oh, thank you so much," and you go ahead and finish. But there are things like that. I think Ben, you mentioned the kisses from, what was it?
Abby, I think was right. Is that right? Abby.
And when I went by, there was a guy dressed in a big foam, or I guess it was a guy, but a big foam Elvis head, and I just heard Elvis on the playlist, and I was like, I just heard one of your tunes.
Well, there was the Jake. I know we see Jake. I remember us talking about that in previous ones, and I saw signs again for him. And as I was coming down the home stretch, as we call it, the hill towards the finish line, his dad was standing there holding a sign, and it was, Jake had lost his life to cancer at some point, and so just seeing that one, I was like, right here at the finish line, I'm gonna break down again, because I got behind a lady that had just "Cancer Sucks" across the back of her T-shirt, but she was wearing the gold bracelet, which means they lost somebody. And so I said something to her as we passed by, and just said, "Love your T-shirt, sorry for your loss," kind of thing, and kept going, and saw some other very interesting ones. There was a sign in St. Jude where somebody was holding it up saying they're praying, that she's cheering you on from heaven, and it was a picture of a little girl. It's like, man, it's tough to get through those. So, but no tougher than what they've had to go through.
Oh yeah.
I can think of a few, but I think you hit the nail on the head. You have the in honor, and then you had, I think there was another one, but
In
it was
memory,
the in memory ones that got me.
Yeah.
Like you pass them and you'd see like in honor, or there's three, I can't remember what the other one was, but it was I saw a few that was in memory.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, this is tough, but it's not that tough. It's really not.
Yeah, Destin ran with London, which is the little girl that had surgery the same day Cypress did, and she passed away a few years ago, and so Destin ran with in memory of on her pants, and then I had one for Cypress, just kind of running for Cypress or whatever. So, but yeah. Those are tough. I mean, but they keep you going. Like, I mean, we've said before, I can't do this at home. I try to run long distance at home, and it's just like, can't do it. And then you get out here, and I think it's the group, atmosphere one, and then you see these signs, and it's like, yeah, I guess I should keep running, since people have went through way more than I'm having to go through. So,
What about you, Justin? See anything out there other than, please just keep my legs going?
did you look at anything?
Well,
Other than the ground.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that did happen, part of the race went by the river this year, and like while we were running by the river, the song "The River" came on, and like went down to the river to pray, and I was like, maybe I should be praying a little bit right now,
Yeah.
because I've got a long ways to go. And
While we were waiting, Will and I went down to hear Justin's name announced, and just a little before Justin crossed the line, they mentioned that somebody who had went to St. Jude and received treatment had just finished
Oh,
the full as well. And so there was a little twinge of, yeah, you loser, why couldn't you run to full? And then I was like, yeah, you are a loser, you're not running to full. But man, I was sitting there, and then I turn, and there's a billboard, one of the billboards that's got a kid on there. It's like, finish strong. And I'm like, yeah, I can't get away from it. It's, it's just, so my eyeballs sweated a little bit out there waiting
We
on
had
Justin.
somebody in the elevator it was his grandfather I think he said he had leukemia, and he said now he's running in this one.
And
Like,
he was
and
about to
he was
finish. He was going out there.
Yeah, and he was a
check
St.
him.
Jude patient as well.
Wow.
This episode of Helping Healing Humor podcast with Ben and Travis is brought to you by Daisy's Place. In 2003, little Daisy was fighting for her life. Each time she went into ICU, Carolyn, her mom, had no place to put her things or rest. Do you have a story like mine? When your loved one is in the hospital, the last thing you need to worry about is a place to rest. Daisy's Place is a free place to stay in Florence, Alabama, while your loved ones need you the most. Daisy's Place needs you. Share your gifts as a volunteer, spread the word, donate, and sponsor to help serve others in their time of need. Go to daisysplace.org. That's DAISYS-PLACE.org. Or give Carolyn a call at 256-629-6729. That's 256-629-6729.
And then there are those funny things, right? That as we get ready to kind of wrap up our discussion, dressed as Spider-Man, you get attention, which most people are trying to avoid. And I'm like, bring it
Shocking! You did something to get attention.
Yeah. So as for the raising, their dodgeball weekend. So I was Spider-Man, and two things. I was up in the ballpark where they feed us afterwards. And there was they said there were 2 Greyhounds full of people on this team, and they'd raised like $230,000. And it was mainly women, and it was like Cajun women, like grandparent age Cajun women.
Yes.
And I had my mask on, and they're like, "Oh, now you're not going anywhere. Just come on over here." And I was like, kind of fearful for my life for a minute. And one lady grabs me by the shoulder and says, my grandson loves Spider-Man. And then everybody's like, "Oh, let's get a group picture." So there's a picture out there floating me somewhere dressed as Spider-Man with a bunch of Cajun grandmas. And then you guys were getting massages, which is a nice thing for this year.
That was
And
fantastic.
I had put my mask on and walked by, and there was a couple of parents. They had their kids in a little pull-behind wagon, and they're like, "Oh, Charlotte, it's Spider-Man." And I mean, before I even got my head around, she's crawling out and running over and almost tackles me. And they're like, "Would you mind taking a picture?" I was like, "This is why I'm here."
The ladies that were giving us the massage were like, "There's people out here running this thing as Spider-Man." We're like, one of them's sitting right out there.
Yeah.
So we're getting
It's like, one's in that group right over there. behind us.
We don't claim him, but there he is. Yeah.
Oh man, it was a cool year.
At mile 10, I don't know if I was telling Destin this. I don't know if they accidentally hacked our headsets, but somebody had the same frequency. And all you hear is, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. And it was, come on, Barbie, let's go. And I'm like, and it was funny because at first I was like, what's going on? And the guy next to me, he's like, is somebody playing Let's Go Barbie? And we had to restart our headsets because it kept going over and over.
Nice.
I thought that was kind of
Interference.
So shout out to Brody and Brock that ran on our team. I think they finished the half in like an hour and 36
I saw
or
that.
38.
That was fantastic.
So,
like a 7.5 minute pace.
They win the prize of the Ben and Travis group for sure.
Tearing it up.
That's
They
smoking.
were rolling. Brock runs for Freed Hardeman, so he's pretty fast anyway.
He
But
cheated.
it's pretty awesome. He cheated.
Yes.
There were a time or two where when we were running down and I could see the other groups coming and there were streets. It was like, no,
So tempting.
we're gonna do the process.
I forgot about this. About mile 2, like we just gotten started. There was a guy who was just taking off through a parking lot, and everybody was kind of pointing like, I guess he quit. I don't know what he was doing, but he just literally just rogue. Just went,
There's my car. I gotta get something
I
out
don't know
of
what
it.
he was doing.
it was wild, but you know, it's just such an awesome atmosphere. We had Karen Man came up and was
Yeah.
cheering. Of course, we had
I was going
Will.
to mention Will.
I got a good game from Will as I was going.
Will said he
through.
covered about 5 miles and going around cheering people. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you may have seen some inspiring things and some funny things, and I just kind of
No, you're good.
overlooked you there, Will.
There were 2 guys dressed as camels. I don't know if y'all saw them.
I did actually.
So
I asked them why they were stopping for
it
the water.
was 2 camels, and Santa Claus was running in between the 2 camels. So
That's fantastic.
I high fived the Pope. That was good.
I saw the
I think it
Pope
was the real-
chasing Santa Claus in a golf cart.
You just can't get this anywhere
I
else.
was about to kick it over to Justin and be like, what did you see? I don't know if anybody's topping that one. Oh, man.
I think that was the real Pope.
Do you think
It was the
real?
Mercedes.
Yeah.
It's always interesting dressed as Spider-Man and you get in the elevator, like, you're Spider-Man. You really
Like,
need
you
the
need the
elevator.
elevator.
Yeah.
Kayla not realizing you were
Yes, that
Travis
was great.
Spider-Man
Yes, that was
until later. I got in the elevator with him. He didn't even say anything.
That was phenomenal. Yes, yes. Well, I guess number one, thanks to everybody who listens, especially if you helped us, either monetarily prayed for us, both, or if like Karen and Will, you just loaded up and came up here and encouraged. I didn't get to say much to Karen, but I did see the sign and I got me a power
I
up
did too.
before
Yep.
before taking off. So
Did you see the
obviously-
back of that sign that she was holding?
I did not.
She turned it around for a little while. It said like, "Are you tired of running yet?"
I'm already tired of running this fast.
Yeah, and it was before the
Before
start
they
line.
started.
I think I don't know. We could talk about signs of the year. I saw one watching you guys take off, and it was "Smile, you paid for this."
Yes. I
Yep.
saw that one too.
I saw the guy at the beginning and the end. The very first, before it started, it said the Kenyans have already finished.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right when we got to mile 13, right before the end, he was standing there too. I was like,
Yeah,
this is
it was great.
fantastic.
The Kenyans have already finished.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of those.
Which is probably a factual statement.
It probably was. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's kind of crazy how quickly it comes and goes. You know, every year we flip over and March rolls around, we start looking for the date to sign up, and of course it went up this year to
Yeah.
4,000, which is kind of crazy, and certainly I think made most of us probably pause about we're gonna be able to do this, and once again a great community that surrounds both of us for some reason that still
Yeah.
want to have something to do with us, and then shows up big in Memphis every year, and man, it's just a blast. You know, you look forward to the day when you don't need weekends like this, where we're all together. We worship for eternity and have this kind of fellowship, but it is a nice little taste throughout the year. And as we get ready for Christmas, which, you know, at our house we call that the spirit of giving, it certainly has been something that you, the listener, or the watcher, or if you're just part of the Ben and Travis community and you tune in every year for the St. Jude wrap up, you're a part of that, and we're certainly thankful for that. And we will talk at you again soon. Ben's got something
I
else.
was gonna say, if we're not gonna, I mean, there's still like a week, I think, to give. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not too late to give. I mean, we've reached our goals for the most part. I think Justin's still working on his.
No, it's
Before I crossed the 26-mile mark, I donated the rest to reach mine, so I'm good.
Nice. Okay.
Oh.
Well, still open. The stuff doesn't go to us. It goes to St. Jude, of course. And so we, you know, if you'd like to give, then we'd love for you to do that too. So
Yeah, obviously keep praying for the kids that are getting treatment. I know Cypress will be back up here. We're recording this on Saturday.
yeah,
Think he'll
Tuesday
be up
and
here
Wednesday. Yeah.
on Tuesday. So when this podcast comes out for public consumption, you'll be right back up here. And of course, we pray that everything goes well with that and that y'all have a safe trip. And that's the point of St. Jude. So y'all can come up here and not have to worry about what it's going to cost. And that's what you're raising money for. But thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Love you. You and your families. And, you know, Josh, I'm just amazed that anytime the wives join us and come and then bring their kids, that's it's pretty bold. Shows their love and mercy and
We'll
grace.
see what
and
happens
grace.
next year.
Yes.
As if they show back up.
Yes. It is key. So, anyways, y'all have a great one, and we'll talk at you again soon.
Thanks for being with us for this episode of the Helping Healing Humor podcast. Be sure to download our free ebook, 28 Days of Focused Living, at benandtravis.com and receive all of our Helping Healing and Humor extra content directly in your inbox. We look forward to having you join us at the same Ben and Travis time, same Ben and Travis channel.